Hello everybody, Mr. Harry here again today to do some more maths. We're going to start with the part whole model to get your brains warmed up. So before we do that, please could you collect some paper, some pens, and if you could collect some objects to help you partake in this activity. So I've got some pens here, so we need 9 of this certain object, whether that's socks or something that you can split up into 2 parts to help you with this task. So we'll try split these to start with. So I'm going to split them this way. So we've got 3 in 1, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to split it into another part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 6 in this pot, and we've got 3 in this pot. So if we remember, like we've been doing in the past starters, split the 2. So 6 add 3 should reach our whole, which is number 9. So we'll put 6 in one part and 3 in the other. So that's one way of splitting 9 into 6 and 3. But now we're going to try split it into another way, and I'm going to make this a bit more of an independent task. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to try and do the whole part model on your own before I do it. So whether that's pausing the video or me giving you a bit of time, I want you to try and do it before. So I'll split the number first, like so. So I've got 4 in 1. So I'll put this into the pot. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then into the other part, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4 in 1, 5 in the other. So now, if you could pause the video and try fill your part whole model by yourself. So hopefully you've filled your part whole model in yourself. So we've got 5 and 4, and this is what yours should look like. So we've got 5 as one part and 4 as the other. And if you've got 4 in the top circle and 5 in the other, it doesn't matter. As long as these 2 numbers are in the 2 parts, you've done that correctly. And hopefully you have, so well done. You can split 9 into 2 parts. So now we're going to try one more way. So I'll split these pens. We've got 9 as a whole. I'm going to split them like this. So we've got 1, 2. We'll put this into a pot, which shows one of our parts. 1, 2. And we've got the other pot, which represents another part. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 in one pot, 2 in the other, and 7 add 2 equals 9. So it's just repeating the same process but with 2 different numbers and 2 different parts. So we've got 7 in one pot and 2 in the other, and 7 plus 2 equals 9. I hope you enjoyed that starter, everybody, and I hope it did get your brains warmed up. Now we're going to be going on to the main activity, which is using our number bonds, and we're going to use it with a number line. And I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Hello everybody, so now we're going to be using our part whole models to find our number bonds to 10 and even push that to maybe even 20. So, if you saw something like this first, tell your adult what you would do. What would you do if you saw a part whole model like this with these in the parts and the holes? Well, what I would do is count the amount in every part and every hole. So this is our hole. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll label that as 8. And in this part, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Label that as 5. And with this final part, we've got 1, 2, 3. So all this is showing is our part whole model in a different representation. And instead of using numbers, we're using Numicon. Now we know which number these Numicons represent, we can turn this into an equation. So if we can write 5 plus 3 equals 8. Now, because I know we've been practicing part whole models quite a lot recently, I'm going to challenge you guys at home. And I'm going to ask you the question, what if I did this to one of the parts? tell your adult what you would do, what your plan of action would be now, having a look at this. Well, the first thing that you've got to do is count the new number that's been added in. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now you've got 10 in one of your parts. That must mean you've got to add 10 to your whole. So let's do that. Now look at that. Let's write this as an equation. So we've got 10, 5. So that's now, instead of 5, because we've added 10, we've got 15. We've still got the 3 plus 3. And because we added 10 to this part, we must add 10 to this whole, which equals 18. Now that we've become a bit more familiar with this, we're going to try this with another set of numbers and another set of numicon. So just like the first time, we're going to count the numbers in the parts. So if you count them for me and write that down on your piece of paper, write down these parts. That's right, so we've got 6 in this part, and we've got 3 in this part, which should mean that our total is 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's correct. Now I want you to write down the equation that this part whole model represents. So we've got the numbers 6, 3 and 9. Hopefully the equation that you've got looks like this. So now what we're going to do, just like last time, we're going to add a 10 to one of our parts. Like that. So now, all the equation would change to is this. Because we are adding that 10. But, if we are adding a 10 to one of our parts, what do we also need to add a 10 to? Tell your adult what else we need to add a 10 to. Is it our other part? Or is it our whole? That's right, correct, it's our whole. So this is our final equation, just from adding 10 to one of our parts. We're going to do this one last time just to make sure you're really experts at this and you're really confident in using part whole models to find our number bonds and add our number bonds. So, we need to count our parts, don't we? So our first part is the number 2, as we can see. 1, 2. And the second part, I'd like you to count that for me. I get the number 7, which means 2 plus 7 should be our whole, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, I want you to do this independently at home, and I want you to add 10 to one of our parts and see how you can change our equation and see if you can work out our equation. I am going to add 10 to 2, which would make this number 12, because 2 add 10 equals 12. So we need to add the 10 onto our 2, which would make 12. And if we were adding onto our whole, onto our part, we must add it onto our whole, which makes 19. Put that into our equation, and that's it completed. Well done, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this task. I think you'll really thrive doing this because I know you're great at part whole models. Well done.